What's going on, guys? Chin the Game Guru. Review time. Review. We're going to review Baldo the Guardian Owls on the Nintendo Switch. This is a game that was showcased a long time ago on one of the Nintendo Directs. It kind of disappeared, fell off the radar, and then it came back and was released, I don't know, probably about a month ago. So I ended up picking it up immediately because I just loved the look of the game. I was actually hoping that it would be this amazing adventure game. I definitely feel like the developer of this game actually missed the mark. They could have made this into an amazing adventure game. And the main reason why I bought this game was for adventure, not puzzle. And unfortunately, it turns out this game has got heavy puzzle elements to it. So let's get into some of the good and some of the bad about Baldo. So first, the good, the artwork, the aesthetics of the game are absolutely fantastic. From the actual land that you're exploring in the overworld, to the dungeons, to the characters all look good that you come across and you interact with. They're all quirky. I like how they have the land. It looks very full with color, and it's very lush with that. And the map is actually really large. So large map, large areas to explore, which is fantastic. The music. Great music. I think they did a fantastic job on the music. Now, let's not confuse music with sound. I'm going to get into sound later on, but the actual music sounds terrific. When you're in certain parts, like the towns and shops, and you're buying things, there were parts where I felt the music was like Zelda-style music. That very cute little goofy music. Sometimes when you go into these towns in Zelda games, it had that same type of feel. So music, the map, and the artwork were just great in this game. That they did a fantastic job on those. The price is okay. As far as the value for what you're getting, it's about $30. It's way cheaper than a $60 game. So I would have to definitely put this in your pros list for this game. I think the price was good. I bought it, I believe, on sale for $25 when I think normally it goes for $29. Now, let's get into the bad parts of this game. So, with all this fantastic artwork and all these cool characters and large map and all that, what could possibly go wrong? Well, first of all, this is supposed to be an adventure game, right? And like I said earlier, this is not supposed to be a puzzle. I didn't want this to be a puzzle game. Well, this game is geared for puzzle first and adventure second, which is a huge drawback to this. I always felt like everywhere you go, you were encountering some puzzle. Even in the overworld. In the overworld, you should barely have any puzzles. You should be able to roam free and go to wherever you need to go. Unfortunately, there's so many parts of the overworld that were locked down with some kind of blockade, some kind of puzzle where you have to figure out, go somewhere, go to a house and get a key, do this, that, go back and forth and get this and grab that before you can open up another section of the overworld. And they were limiting the overworld in this game. And that's bad because it affects the adventuring. When you're adventuring, there's a certain amount of continuity as you're adventuring so that you can feel the adventure. But when you have to stop every 5 seconds for a puzzle, I mean, it does not feel like an adventure game at that point. Another thing that was really bad about it is that you're so grounded. My God, are you grounded? No jumping, no pulling, no climbing. None of that. So you're in an overworld, no jumping, no pulling, no climbing. You're stuck on the ground. And then as far as the puzzles are concerned, a lot of the puzzles were very easy. And then there were some that were hard. And why were they hard? They weren't hard because they were really hard. They were hard because they were hidden. They're like completely obscure puzzles, which like you go in a room and you look around, you don't see anything. But yet there's a dirt pile in the middle of a room that looks like it's just a regular floor. But because I didn't know that was a dirt, I wasn't able to dig to find the secret there. Things like that, when you have puzzles that are hard because visually it's obscure and you can't see anything, especially with a game like this that has fixed camera angles. Yes, the game is isometric with fixed camera angles. It just doesn't work. I mean, the puzzles sometimes were infuriating because you couldn't see anything. The map, even though the map is large, the map in the UI is just not intuitive. It's terrible to navigate. It was actually a nightmare. You can't tell where Baldo is on the map. You can't tell where you need to go on the map. All you had was these pulsating kind of round target areas. Now let's get into the sounds. Even though the music was absolutely fantastic, the sounds in this game were terrible. They were absolutely terrible. Things like the seagulls on beach areas and the waves and the certain areas where water was, and they just felt very artificial to me. They felt like it was the same type of sound being played over and over and over, which did not lead to any realistic sounds. The characters, the same problem. The sound was like some of the characters had the worst sounds, and every time you come across a character, you would actually read what they were saying. You couldn't even hear what they were saying, which is fine. But then they would have these little weird sounds with them, like who, he, ho, he. And it just didn't really gel well with those characters. Bugs. Lots and lots of bugs. Hey, what's better than going into playing a game and then going into a particular area and getting stuck? And you can't do anything about it. And you have to kill the game and then refire it up. Yes, lots of bugs in this game. Lots of dying. Are you a fan of dying? Lots of dying. And the dying in this game is pointless. Because when you die, you just restart in that same area you were where you died at. It was almost as if somebody on this developer team was just a sicko and say, hey, let's see how many times we can kill somebody. Let's see, can we kill them in just odd different ways? So like if you're on top of a little cliff, it's not a big cliff, maybe you got a 15-foot drop or something. If you try to drop 15 feet down, you don't take damage and stay down there, you die. And then there were times with the bad, awful isometric camera views that are stuck. There were holes in certain maps I didn't even know were there. I couldn't even see them. So sometimes you'll find you'll move your character along, you fall in a hole, you're dead. So there's so many ways that you can die in this game. So with all of these negative aspects to the game, I feel like with all the puzzles and all the stopping non-stop, these puzzles, all these little bugs, and just all of these little negative things that I feel the developer could have fixed. They could have made it a little bit more open, let you run around, jump around, just make it a little bit and reduce some of the puzzles. Maybe keep the puzzles on some of the dungeons, like Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild did it the right way, where they had puzzles in the shrines. But when you're outside in the overworld, you didn't have all of that. So you were free to explore. You were free to, see different towns and talk to people and then when you got into one of the shrines or dungeons or whatever, you could actually then try to engage in a puzzle. I feel like the developer should have done the same exact thing in this game. If they would have done that, they would have focused on adventure first, this game would have just had so much better of a review. And it would have actually been fun to play. I put so many hours into this game, and I get to the point where I didn't even finish it because I was like, I'm done torturing myself. It got to the point where it was no longer fun because I got sick and tired of stopping for another puzzle. So I'm going to give Baldo The Guardian Owls a 6 out of 10. And the only reason why I gave it a 6 as a redeeming factor is because of the fantastic music and because of the actual artwork in the game. I think it looks amazing. Now, is this game bad for everyone? No. I think this game is actually, if you're a puzzle enthusiast and you love puzzle and you just want to do puzzle, give me a puzzle here, puzzle. If you're a puzzle person, this might actually be a fun game for you. So that's it, guys. I'm Jim the Game Guru. I will see you in the next video. Bye.